The greatest integer function is often defined as intx, or with the square brackets around the x. Okay, so the greatest integer function, the way it works is that it will take the greatest integer part of an input. So for example, if you take the input of 1.4, the output would just be the greatest integer part of that. So int of 1.4 is equal to positive 1. Okay, so if we take the greatest integer part of 2.0, the greatest integer part goes to 2, so we end up with int of 2 is equal to positive 2. And basically for the positive numbers, if what we can do is we can just kind of take off the decimal part of that number. However, you have to be careful because on the negative side, it's a little bit different. So if I have negative 0.5, the greatest integer part of negative 0.5 is going to be 1. So if I just kind of scratch off the decimal part of it, I would get the wrong result. So you have to be careful on the negative parts. So the reason why we have this is it is actually a very good way to show discontinuous functions and to show left and right hand limits or one-sided limits. So this will show up on a couple questions in your homework, but it will also show up in first year calculus because this is a very good way to demonstrate one-sided limits. So examples here are, if we take the greatest integer of 3.1, we just can take the output of 3. For 4, it's just going to be 4. The negatives are ones that we have to be a little bit more careful of because at negative 2.5, so if my input is negative 2.5, if I go down to that, my output is not negative 2 but negative 3. Okay, so we have to be careful of the negative ones.